This is Paul,
Hi.
and we're at Coton Orchard. And Paul, you're a volunteer for Operation
Operation Turtle Dove.
Operation Turtle
A
Dove.
very exciting time of year.
Have you seen many turtle doves?
No. So I was on a farm south of Cambridge and I made the big mistake of leaving my binoculars in the car. So I thought, hot day like this, I'll just amble along the path. And there was a turtle dove. And I thought, it's not in front of the camera. I did my best to edge it towards the camera and it flew off.
Yeah, we've had one sighting that we're fairly confident, and then one it could be wishful thinking, but we've not managed to catch anything on the cameras, our cameras. So you're here today to put out.
That's right. So I've got my camera with me. We'll have a look at it in a minute, and that's a stills camera. So anything that moves, it's got I think a 10-second shutter release. So anything that moves, it does like a 10-second still. That doesn't make any sense, does it?
No.
Anyway, it's not moving. It takes a still. So if a rabbit hops across, every 10 seconds it will get the rabbit as it hops across. So the idea, if anything moves in front of it, but that can be a blade of grass, we've got to make sure nothing. On a day like today when it's windy, nightmare.
Yeah.
Because just the branches of the trees will set, and I'll get 3,000 pictures of a tree waving its branches.
Yeah. The problem we've got is we got about 3,000 pictures of deer, fox.
If they're cute pictures, I can live with that.
Okay.
But of course, I do want to see. You see the wood pigeon, you see the stock dove, you might see the collar dove, and then you see something slightly smaller, a slightly richer brown, and you think, well, hold on a minute.
Yeah.
That's a turtle dove, and that's what we're hoping for. And I found out the other day from the RSPB something really interesting.
Yeah.
Well, I asked a question. They were talking about nesting and feeding, and I said, so okay, how far will they travel to feed? And the astonishing answer was up to 10 kilometres from the nest. I couldn't believe it. But, said the person, the young ones will only travel up to 300 metres from the nest. So your feeding area needs to be 300 metres within where you think the nest might be. So we could get a bird here which has travelled 10 kilometres to get here to feed as an adult, but the young ones won't travel that far.
Right. So what we're going to do today is have a look at the initial site that we set up.
Yeah.
See whether that's suitable, but because we've just had this really long dry spell.
Yeah.
It's the scrape that we made for it, essentially a nice puddle.
Yes.
Is dried up. So tell people watching why do we need water for a start?
Well, the turtle doves, like most things, need sort of three things. They need somewhere to nest and somewhere to feed and somewhere to drink. And I guess these adult ones, as I said, they'll fly a long distance to find a pond or something, but the young ones won't. So if you've got nesting birds, they may just dehydrate in this.
Well, that, and also, as I understand it, turtle doves need water to make like a porridge for feeding their young, don't they?
Quite possibly. you know more than me, Anna, about porridge and stuff.
Okay.
But yeah, quite likely. So they do need water, but the young ones won't travel a great distance to get it. That's the thing. So any kind of accessible water.
So what we're doing now is just I'm driving Paul down to our initial site where we have had a turtle dove sighting this year. Because the other site that we might put the camera is, we've seen turtle doves before, but not this year. But the problem with this site that we're coming up to is that there is no water. So I put a trough out. That was a blue jay. So you can see it's just ahead of us.
Right.
Actually, in the hedgerow on this side, we have cuckoo nest, and we also have a barn owl. But that's sort of further down, so I think we won't have to worry too much about them predating the turtle dove.
Have you got kestrels here?
We do,
Yeah.
but in the other corner.
They built them.
Oh,
So
we do have.
well,
We have
if
everything.
it's a little one, maybe.
This is quite a big site.
Yeah, maybe a sparrowhawk or something.
We've got some of those as well.
I think, if there's a little bird out there, anything could go for it. But
Well, also, I think when you're talking such a large site, you're going to have something everywhere.
what I don't want is a nesting adjacent, really.
Yeah. So here is our first feeding site, and as you can see, There's absolutely no water. So we put like a trough there. Should we get out and have a look? I'm going for continuous filming here. So why don't you tell us what are some of the good things that we need to look for as a ideal site for feeding?
Yes, yeah. So the ideal site, not to be overhung by trees. So we're okay here because we're not. If we were right under there, that would not be appropriate. But we're away from trees here. It's got to be 5 meters wide and like 50 meters long.
So
And then grass not more than 15 centimeters.
So
Most of it isn't, because it's so dry as well.
yeah, so I mean this scrape was 8 meters wide.
But the other bits around it, you know, where there's this low grass.
Yeah, so what we've done is we've cut strips, left strips, and they do also like somewhere to escape to if a predator appears. So what do you think of our site one?
Yeah, I think that was a seed down there as well.
Well, I only just put that out, so they have been something has been eating it.
Yeah.
So there's some there just because.
Have you filmed this bit?
I have.
Yeah.
Though not in the last couple of weeks because I moved the camera to the other place.
Yeah.
Which should get back in the car and I show
So
you the other place.
Are you getting doves here?
Yes, this is where there's more doves and pigeons and collar doves and all of that. So that's why we created this spot, because it was and it's also next to the allotment, and there's a lot of pigeons and.
Is there water in the allotment?
Well, they have troughs and that kind of thing.
So it might be.
And then beyond the allotment on that side is the horse fields, and they have a lot of doves, because there used to be a dovecot there as well. Yeah. So you've got white ones and sort of the black and white ones, which I can't remember the name of.
Yeah. So to me, when I've done this is my camera.
Yeah.
When I've done this kind of filming at other places, where I'm seeing turtle doves, I will see more wood pigeons and stock doves and even collar doves than turtle doves. But the point being, I think if you were a turtle dove flying over and you saw pigeons down, you're thinking, oh, that could be suitable for me.
Yeah.
So if there were no pigeons and doves here, you're thinking that's not good. Where I've seen them, there have been other doves.
Oh, there's definitely loads of doves and
so I
pigeons.
Think, they're smaller than a collard dove, so they've all got their little niche that they live in. So maybe the seeds they're eating are a bit smaller than the wood pigeon is eating.
Right.
But the idea being, if the other doves are down, it's probably good for a turtle dove as well.
Okay,
so I think that's a very positive thing.
So what do you reckon? Put your camera here then? Stick to what we got?
It's a patience thing as well. But you can't. I've been talking to a guy about swift boxes, and I said, I put a swift box up 2 years ago and nothing. And he said, I put one up like 10 years ago and finally they're using it. It's a waiting game with all of these things. You can't expect miracles from day one. But if we put food down here and other doves are attracted, all you need then is a passing turtle dove to see it, come down, and then maybe next year they come back and they nest here. You can't expect miracles, but we've got to try and see, are they even finding it?
So should we try the camera here then?
Definitely. Let's see what it goes.
I've also, because we've ascertained that the ground is like concrete.
Yeah.
There's a very convenient marker post there that you could attach your camera to.
I could use that.
Yes.
It's got to get the direction of now the sun is this way. So.
Talk me through your thinking. Why is the direction important?
So I don't want the birds back there. Just imagine you're seeing doves and you can see what colour they are. It's like, this is a nightmare. So I want. So the sun's coming around this way. I want to be facing this way, over here. So then we've got to think about distance from the camera. So you've got some food there. You've got to think, and that might work. Because if I put the camera low, we can catch these ones.
Yep.
What you've got to be careful, if I put the camera too high, I'll get the heads of these birds because I'm looking too far away.
Yep.
Or do we put food further over? I don't think it'll matter to the birds. So it's just getting the sun behind it so we get the colour of the birds, and then the height of the camera so we're getting the appropriate distance to see them correctly. That's what we've got to think about. So where do we put the camera, where do we put the food, and then I can come back and check it in 4 or 5 days.
Cool.
and see what's happened. Would be nice if the cameras would send this information to my laptop. I wouldn't need to come at all. I could just look on my laptop, but they're not that sophisticated. But they're very good at what they do.
But we love you visiting us, and
Well, yeah, it's lovely to visit.
we got loads of other birds too.
Yeah, and I won't only work 20 minutes away. It's nice to come.
Yeah.
Honestly. But sometimes, when you're really busy, this time of year I'm okay.
Yeah.
Actually, but other times of the year you just can't get away.
We're still hoping you'd find us a lesser spotted woodpecker. Because you've heard them, so we know.
I think I did, but you can start to doubt yourself.
So I was like, well, no, I don't doubt you at all. I have faith, Paul.
You need faith.
But they're very little.
Yes, and they're very, very elusive.
Yeah. I swear we must have one.
I think again.
But I haven't heard it this year.
Maybe in the winter put a woodpecker kind of feeder up and a camera
Mm.
and just see what comes.
Yeah, but we also have a gazillion actual woodpeckers of all colours.
Yeah, but you can feed. I don't know.
I don't know. Keep trying.
Too.
Okay.
Have a look, see what you get.
We do have some baby greater spotted
Yeah.
up over there,
They're lovely.
and they're actually quite cute to look at.
It's just they're not uncommon.
Yeah.
They're still lovely,
We've also got some baby barn swallows.
which are beautiful as well. So I wonder if on my neck.
It's called a microphone.
What's that tickling me?
Yeah.
And your barn house, did you say?
Yeah, we've got a barn box there which they've issued, so I think they're actually living in a tree out in the scrub. But it beautiful, just glides along that border between us and the allotment that people can see behind you. And when we've been making a dead hedge just along here, I don't know whether you could see, it's actually the other side. We're making a dead hedge. And I think because we've disturbed mice and all these kinds of things, it's just been sitting watching us do it even during the daytime. No, and it's like something out of Harry Potter. It just glides out, and it's like, oh, thank you, you've made it easy. You're just making it really easy for my dinner.
Okay. In my garden, the equivalent is a robin as we're digging out a worm.
That's it.
It's the same thing.
Same principle, yeah.
It ain't a barn owl, but that's amazing.
Yeah, no, it was a real Harry Potter moment watching it, and then it just sort of picks up the mouse and off it goes. Yeah.
One of my favourite birds.
Gorgeous to look at.
I'm tired of seeing a barn owl.
I was yet to actually get it on camera. That's what I'd like to get a good photo of.
Yeah.
Okay, putting up the camera.
Brilliant. So that's what we've got to think then. Fine. So, we've got the camera set up. It's facing the right direction. It's got the sun coming this way. So the sun, I presume it just moves around the sky through the day.
Yeah, the sun does that.
Long may it continue to do so. But it's never going to be over here. I mean, first thing in the morning might get a bit. But that's it. The rest of the day, anything here is going to be not backlit. Is front lit a word?
Yeah.
I don't know. It's going to be front lit.
It's going to be nicely lit.
Nicely lit.
And why do we need it nicely lit?
Well, because a collard dove can look a little bit like a turtle dove. And you can get very excited, and sometimes you've got to zoom in on your laptop, and you're just looking for that. Collard dove is pretty monotone, sandy brown. And a turtle dove, it's got this quite chestnutty back, which is distinctive. But if you had a bird in poor light, it might be hard. You can see it's smaller than a stock dove. Is it a turtle dove? Is it a collard dove? Might be quite hard to tell. And we want to get some nice pictures with these cameras. You do get some nice pictures of anything really.
Yeah.
You might even get a muntjac looking at it or something, but it looks kind of cute. So we're okay with that.
Well, we've had plenty of. Well, actually, the last muntjac came and licked it.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, you don't want that.
So here's take 2 because I very stupidly didn't press record. We've just driven down to our pebble pond. I'll just spoon my fingers out the way. As you can see, it's really, really dry, but it's providing a lifeline for quite a lot of wildlife anyway. We can see paw prints, and then there's butterflies, dragonflies. What else have you seen, Paul?
Damselfly. Just saw a nice male banded damselfly.
Yeah.
So they're coming to the water just to lay eggs, and then they'll move away from the water to feed. Oh, there's a wood pigeon. So how long did you say the pond? How long ago was it dug?
We did it in end of April. It was
So
supposed to be
new then.
Yeah,
Very
it was supposed to be winter, but just technical difficulties.
Yeah.
So what we're looking at the moment is the sort of shallow side. So the design of the pond is like a 4-leaf clover, with each of the leaves. Oh, there's a pigeon just swooped past. With each of the leaves being deliberately shallow so that it serves house martins who need the mud to build their nests, and also turtle doves. You know, everything needs water to live, but turtle doves specifically need it during breeding season because they use the water to make a kind of porridge to feed their young. So they need the seeds and they need water. And this was intended to provide both. Other things just flying past. But we're absolutely desperate. Where's the other one gone?
Looked like they were coming down for something. Really get the colour when it turns. That's putting on the show. See what they're called, kites. Fly beautifully. And that pale forked tail. Quite an acrobatic flight. Buzzards never fly like them. So you can identify them quite a long way on.
So we're at the second turtle dove feeding site, and we got all excited and we got distracted because what did we see?
Oh, a red kite came up, which is great. Love to see a red kite. They're always amazing in this light. But then another one came up really close behind us, just sitting in the bushes. Two of them are over there now. And they got very low to the bushes, and then something small shot out of the bush to chase them off, and it was a male sparrowhawk. I've never seen that before. I've never seen a sparrowhawk chasing off a kite. It's like the leaves are off the tree.
Yeah.
See if you can see a massive nest.
So I mean, you can see in the distance there's some really tall trees. So you know, people sort of think, oh well, Coton Orchard is just apple trees, but actually the really tall hedgerows, you can see there's the elms where we've got white letter hair streaks. But anyway, back to turtle doves and our site. So we're getting really sort of close to the ground. So Paul, tell us why. So going to be on the other camera. I'm going to look back and think, why are those people doing weird things? But tell us why this is a really good site for turtle doves, even though it looks like a bit of a scruffy mess.
It does look a bit of a sort of rough area, but that's what makes it perfect. So for turtle doves, what have we got? I mean, obviously there's a sign, is in case they can read. That's very helpful. But there's the water, so they can hop in. When you look at the ground, you can see this. The supplementary feeding is here. But look at the diversity of plants that you can see. I mean, some of these things are still in flower. Some of them have finished flowering, and they're quite prickly. But they're all, and look at this little one here. I don't know their names, but these will all seed, and they're putting seed right at ground level. So for turtle doves, you don't want anything like these thistly things here. If the ground was covered in these, then it would be hopeless for them. What they want is to be sitting on the ground, picking up these little seeds, and then they've got the water source as well. So actually, although this doesn't look an amazing place for wildlife, it's perfect for turtle doves. And also it's right out in the open. So if they fly over, they can see it very easily.
Oh, what's that?
It's a wood pigeon. Yeah.
Wood pigeon. So we do have collared doves and different sort of birds in that sort of broad family.
And do they feed in this area?
Yes.
Well, yeah.
But actually most of them do feed in where we've settled on as site one.
Yeah. But you've got a camera here as well.
Yeah.
So, fine. I mean, put a few cameras up and let's see what we find.
And this is the seed.
Yeah.
So
yeah, let's have a look.
maybe you can tell people what's the difference.
Well, this seed is very small. You can see they're very small seed. Turtle doves only the size of a blackbird, so they don't want big seed, they want small seeds. Hence the little flowers on the ground, often very, very small flowers producing small seeds, and that's exactly what they're after. But the other birds will take the small seeds as well. But you can't give the turtle dove a big seed. That's the thing, it's got to be the small stuff. So that's a perfect mixture for them. And just scattered over, this is perfect kind of bare ground. But if it is grassy, you just got to keep it mowed, keep it down. If it grows up, then it's no good for them.
Well, this is actually was a hard standing, and so it doesn't really grow grass anyway, so it's kept patchy on its own.
Yeah.
I mean, actually, we thought about tidying it up a few times, but on sort of various surveys, it was found that, well, this has actually got some of Britain's rarest species of terrestrial invertebrates.
If you look around here, you would say, well, you've got the height and you've got the depth. Absolutely right. So all around this site, you've got ideal habitat for turtle doves. It's just convincing them of that and getting them to come here. But it's not